This new record, There's Life Here, it's kind of, it's my first record, really, you know. I released a couple records with my band. I feel like I spent up until the age of 24 kind of learning how to write songs and sing in front of people and book gigs, and, you know, and then I spent 25 learning how to be on the road. And, you know, now that I'm 26, I'm ready to put all of it together and put out a record and kind of give people a way to share me with their friends and kind of start to really spread the word now. So I think that I play music because I've had a huge connection with it since I was a kid. It was the most important thing in the world to me, and you know, outside of family, I think it still is the most important thing to me. I've always loved the fact that music can connect people that don't know anything about each other. I also play music because I'm not really good at anything else. It's always been something that I actually felt like right. Because I'm kind of weird, you know. I'm like kind of a weird dude, so music for me, I always actually felt like it's like putting on like a good shirt or something. It always fit, and it was never something that I felt like I had to work at in a way that made it unnatural. So I do it for that. I do it because it connects me to the world in a way that I don't think I'd have in another way. It allows me to feel part of a community, you know. I hope that, you know, girls like me. No. I hope that people can get out of there that I genuinely do care about these songs, and I'm not writing words because I'm told that it's good when you put this word in the song, or, I mean, this stuff is real. This stuff is my heart, you know, and I really hope that the best thing that I could say about this record is that I hope it, when I was in high school, I met Matt Nathanson at the time. He was playing a show in Philadelphia, and I got to go up to him and be like, your record got me through the worst breakup of my life, you know, as a 16-year-old. And if I could do that for somebody, you know, if I could get somebody through something, I mean, whether it's a breakup or, you know, whatever, it's, you know, I hope that they just genuinely get out of this record that I'm there, I'm present in this record, and that I've been there, you know. That's what I'm hoping. So my advice to guys just getting into it, or girls just getting into it, I have a lot, especially now, because right now I'm at the end of a 2-week tour, and I'm about to go home finally, and I'm exhausted. But my advice to people would be to hone your craft. Get out there and play as much as you possibly can. Play open mics, play whatever. I get the excuse from people all the time, like, I would play shows if I could get a booking agent, or I'd make a record if I could get signed to a label, or whatever. We're in this age where you can do anything by yourself, and be who you are, and don't waver on that, and be unapologetic about who you are. And also, be nice. Politely persistent is like the key to the game. You know, you may have to call a bar 12 times, but every time be like, oh, I hate to be a pain. You know, whatever. You're never going to care. No one will ever care about your music as much as you do. And just don't ever forget that. You know, and favors go a long way, too. You know, the community really does work back for you if you're giving. I think the other thing about younger musicians is that, like I was saying earlier, that feeling that they need something given to them in order to have it. Not like a sense of entitlement or something, but they just think that they look at somebody and they're like, oh, well, there's a management team behind them, there's whatever. You don't need any of that anymore. We're in this day where I can go make a record tonight and release it tomorrow on iTunes. And, you know, it's really just about getting out there and playing as much as you possibly can, so that when it comes time to release that record, you're able to back it up on stage. My feeling about computers and music, or auto-tune, or any of that stuff that's happening, is that I'm not a purist when it comes to music. I don't necessarily believe that you can't have a drum sample, or that you can't put an effect on your voice, because we've been putting effect on guitars forever, so what's really the difference, you know? But my thought is the fact that there's no more James Brown. Like, there's no more Mick Jagger. There's no more, I mean, obviously, he's still alive, but there's no more of that in pop music now. There's no more guys that are on stage every night giving it hell and being, you know, and it coming out of them. I'm still a firm believer that a guy can walk into a room with an acoustic guitar and kill the room, you know, just because of energy and showmanship. I wish that music wasn't becoming so much of a commodity now, where people just kind of don't, it's not as valuable as it used to be. Like, because you can get it everywhere, and there's people putting YouTube covers up, and it's what I think is more frustrating is, like, I don't want to hear, you know, I don't want to see a video of you playing somebody else's song. Like, I want to see you. And I think that that's what's missing a lot of, I feel like the risk is going out of music. Like, but that's kind of just how music rolls, though, because you had the 80s, you had all those bands that were building choruses as big as their hair, and they were just, and really well-written song, but just cheesy. And then in the 90s, it broke it down, and people were back to, like, revealing themselves. And I think we're due for something like that to come back around, where people are out there giving themselves again. I think right now there's so much synth, and there's so much, it's not even meant to connect anymore. It's just meant to make you move your body, and that's fine. But, you know, I just wish that human element would come back, and people would start playing instruments again.